In this video, I am going to demonstrate you how you can create this kind of animations like eraser inside After Effects. First, let's see what we are going to create in this video. Start by creating a new composition. I am going to use 1920 by 1080p composition for now, and I'm going to rename it to main composition and hit OK. I just record my hand with the green screen in background while doing this motion and import this video inside After Effects. This is the exact same movement we are going to follow up in our animation. I am going to break down my hand in three parts. The first one is the arm, the second one is palm, in the third one I am going to create my fingers. Okay, now select the pen tool from toolbar and set this color. Remove its stroke and start drawing the arm. Right here. Now turn off this layer. Select this layer so the points are visible, and from the same point start making the thumb. I am going to break down the fingers in three parts. And this is the first part of thumb. Now turn it off and create the second part of the thumb. Okay, now I am going to speed up this process because right now I am just creating shapes. Now create a palm like this at the middle part of our hand and adjust it. Right now I'm just creating these hard edges shape. After creating these shapes, I will smooth their edges. Okay, now I'm going to speed up this process. Now turn everything back on and duplicate this nail and paste it on the other fingers which don't have. Now it's time to smooth these corners. Select the pen tool and hold Alt and click on these edges to make it smooth. Like this, you just have to hold the Alt and you have to click the point where you want to smooth the corner. Like this. I am going to speed up this process. Now repeat the same process with these nails to make them smooth. I am going to cut this part. Okay, after making everything smooth, this is how our hands look like. I just turn off the video layer and turn on the transparent background. And also I just rename my layers. The T means thumb and 1 means it's part 1. I already told that I break down fingers in 3 parts. Using same method I rename all layers. Now select all the layers and pre-compose them. Okay, now open this composition. After opening this composition, I want you to select this thumbnail and connect it with the T3 layer. Now I just turn off the transparent background. Now select this arm and apply gradient ramp effect. Select this white color and change it with the skin color and leave the black color as it is. Adjust these points to adjust the gradient like this right here. Now select this point and drag it a bit on right side. Now select this gradient ramp and copy it and paste it on this palm. Now select this gradient and drag this point a bit too far from the hand. And I'm going to repeat the same process for the other parts of the hand. Okay, now repeat the same process with fingers, and this is how our whole hand look like after adding basic lights using gradient ramp. Now I am going to add drop shadow below these nails and play with its values until you reach your desired result. Now copy the effect from the thumbnail and paste it on the fingernail and then change its direction. And opacity. Now copy this effect and apply on the other nails. Now our basic lighting is done. Now I am going to create a new null object and change its label to this green. Select the null object, press Y or select this anchor point tool and place the null object anchor point between the arm and palm. Now select all the layer except for the arm and the nail of the thumb and parent link all the layers to the null object. Now select the null object, press R and make a keyframe on its rotation. Go a few frames forward and place this keyframe here. Now go 10 frames forward, make another keyframe. Now go 10 frames forward more and make another keyframe. Come at first keyframe and set its value to 5. Go to second keyframe and set its value to -1. Now go to last keyframe and set its value to 5. Now as you can see these corners, select the pen tool and click on the points, adjust it like this. And this is how our basic movement is done. Now select these keyframes and drag them a bit forward. Now go 20 frames forward and adjust it here. Now the distance between each keyframe is 20 frames. Select the keyframes, press F9, make them easy, go to graph editor and make this kind of graph. Like this. Okay, now close the graph editor. Now I am going to animate the thumb. Now select this one and select the anchor point tool or press Y and adjust the anchor point here. Now select this one and adjust its anchor point right here. Now press R. Now select this layer and press R, make a keyframe on its rotation. Go 22 frames forward and make a keyframe and set its value to -6. Now repeat the same process with the T3 layer. Set its second keyframe value to -27. The distance between keyframe is 6 frames. Now go 20 keyframes forward and make the keyframes. Now go again 6 frames forward and set their values to 0. Like this. Now select these two keyframes, go to graph editor and make this graph. Like this. Select these points and make this kind of graph. Okay, now go back from graph editor. Press R to close the properties. And this is how it look like. Now I just turn on the transparent background. And I'm going to import this lighter PNG below the T3 layer. Right click, go to transform and flip it horizontally. And place it here. And scale it down. This is just for reference. Now recompose it and rename it to lighter. Open this composition and turn off the transparent background. Place it in the center. Now I'm going to break down this letter in 3 parts: the base, the fire area and the cap. Select the pen tool and start drawing this base area. Like this. Hold Alt and click on these points to make them smooth. Okay, now I'm going to speed up this process because right now I'm just making simple shapes. Now I'm going to draw this cap. This is something very easy to draw. Now select the circle shape tool and set its color to black. Enable the transparent background and draw a circle like this. Press Shift plus space and drag it toward the anchor point and adjust it here. Now duplicate this circle and paste it here. Now duplicate it and scale it down. 3 more copies and adjust them like this. Okay, now duplicate this center circle and drag it here. Increase the scale and adjust it here. This thing is going to work as a spark ring. Now put this circle behind this fire area. Select all the layers and using the motion tools I am going to center align their anchor point or press Y. and set it anchor point right here. Now turn on this PNG and adjust it here. Now I'm going to create this kind of texture on these shapes. Select all the three layers and change the color to this. Now select the base and apply fractal noise. Open the transform properties. Uncheck this uniform scaling and increase the scaling width to full and scale height to 33.4. Set the brightness to 29 to 35 and set the contrast between 40 to 50. Now apply sharpness effect and increase its value around 160. Now as you can see there is a shadow on the corners. So select that layer, right click, go to layer styles and apply inner shadow. Open the layer style and open inner shadow properties and just follow my steps. As I always mention that don't use the noise over 7 or 10 points because if you use it over the 10 points it will destroy your design. And reduce the opacity to 31. Now select both effects, copy them and paste them on these, the fire area and also on cap. Now select this inner shadow effect and paste it on the fire area and also on the cap. Okay, after this select this cap layer, go to fractal noise transform properties and switch the scale values. Set the scale width to 33.4 and scale height to 600. Now I'm going to rename this layer to cap and put it on top of other layers. Okay, now I am going to adjust the scale properties of the lighter. First select the base and uncheck this uniform scale link and squeeze its X value. Now repeat the same process with other layers and I'm going to speed up this process. Otherwise this video is going to be take another hour just to adjust the lighter size, which you already know how to do this. Now as you can see that the texture of body and the cap is not in the same direction. So select the cap layer and set a rotation value to 0 and pre-compose it. Now select the rectangle tool and create a mask like this. Select the anchor point tool and adjust it here, right on top of the joint. Now press R and make a keyframe on its rotation. Go a few frames forward and set its value to 22 and set the first keyframe value to -91. Select the keyframes, press F9, go to graph editor and make this kind of graph. And this is how our animations look like. Now close the graph editor and go back to your end composition. Now select the slider composition, press S and increase the scale, adjust it here. Press R, rotate it and adjust it like this. A bit scale it down. Now if I play it, this is how it look like. As you can see that the lighter is not connected with the hand. To connect the lighter with the hand, just select the lighter composition and parent link it with the null object. Now it will move with the hand. Now as you can see that there is a delay between the thumb and the cap opening. So adjust the playhead right here where we want to open our cap. Open the letter composition. Press U to visible the keyframes. Now select these keyframes and adjust them right here. Go back to your hand composition and if I play it, this is how it will look like. Now select this composition, select rectangle tool and create this kind of mask. Align its anchor point to center and adjust its position. Now close everything, go back to your main composition. Now I'm going to change the properties of this composition. Press Ctrl K and set the composition to 1080 by 1920p. And adjust the hand right here. Now press S and scale it down. Adjust it here. After this, create a new solid layer and rename it to background. And hit OK. Now select this layer, background layer, and apply gradient ramp effect on it. Select this white color and use this color code. Hit OK. Now adjust these points like I'm doing. Like this. Okay, now create another solid layer and go to shape tool, select the circle and double click on it and it will automatically create a mask. Invert the mask. Now press V and double click on the mask and adjust it like this. Now select the mask, open its properties and increase the feather a lot and adjust the mask. Adjust the layers. Now I am going to create a dark shadow on the end. Okay, now close everything. Now select this layer and rename it to mask. Now select this pre-composition, right click, go to layer style, select stain. Now open the stain properties and just follow my settings. Now right click on the layer again, go to layer style and apply inner glow. Now open the inner glow properties and copy these settings. Set the noise to 7 and change the color as the background because the light source is reflecting from the background, so the edges of the hand will look like the backgrounds but with the brighter color. There you go. Now I am going to add the spark and the fire. Now I am going to import the sparks which I download from YouTube and adjust it here. Now go a few frames forward. When it's completely vanished from the screen, press Alt and right bracket key to cut it. Now press R and rotate it like this. Now go a few frames forward right here and drag this right here and adjust it, and I'm going to change its blending mode to lighten. Now I'm going to apply a tritone effect on top of it and change the mid-tone color to a bright orange like this, and it's working completely fine. Now adjust it a little bit right here. Now I'm going to apply the fire. I also downloaded it from YouTube. Now scale it up and adjust it here. Now pre-compose this layer. Move all attributes into the new composition and set its name to fire and hit OK. Now select the fire layer and change its blending mode to lighten. And I'm going to create a circle mask around it because I need a fire glow right on top of the thumb and on the lighter, and create a mask like this. Now while recording this tutorial I missed the one thing, which is adding a deep glow on fire. If you have it, then apply the deep glow effect on top of it, set its radius to 0.19 and exposure to 256, and align the fire pre-composition with the spark overlay. I'm going to scale up the fire a little bit, press S and scale it up and adjust the fire bit upward, and if I play it, this is how it will look like. Now close everything. Now create a new solid and I'm going to rename it to characters and hit OK and pre-compose it. Move all attributes into new composition and hit OK. Now open this composition and I have these characters which Eraser used. In this video I just going to import these characters one by one and adjusting them inside the composition like this. Okay, as you can see that I imported all the characters according to the composition. Now create a circle shape, remove its fill and set the stroke to 27 and create a circle like this and adjust it and increase the stroke size. Now I'm going to rename this layer to circle and apply chromatic aberration. I'm going to just increase its position right here to 7.50 is good. Now you also apply the Gaussian blur effect and increase this blurriness. Here you go, and adjust the circle. Now put this circle layer behind these characters. One more thing, select the background and apply gradient wrap and change the swap the colors and adjust it here and change the color to this one. Now increase the value of blend with original and put this circle behind these characters. Now create a new adjustment layer and apply a radial blur and set it amount to 2. As you can see that the radial blur is working perfectly fine. Okay, now go back to your main composition. I have already made this burn composition tutorial in one of my previous video on how to edit like eraser, and I will put the link inside description with timestamp. Now put that composition below the mask. Now create a new camera and make everything 3D except for background. Now I am going to add a marker on the place where the composition starts burning. Right here, press steric from your numpad to create a marker. Press P and Shift plus R to open the position and rotation properties. Make a keyframes, go a few frames backward and create another keyframe on position. Now go to the second keyframe of the position and decrease the Z value and adjust it on top of the fire right here. Now make a keyframe on rotations and go a few frames backward and create another keyframes. Go to second keyframes, set the X value to -13, Y value to +9 and Z value to +1. Now apply CC page turn effect on top of it. Select this point and place it right here. Make a keyframe on position, fold position. Press U to visible the keyframe and drag this keyframe right here. Go a few frames forward and set this point right here and it will automatically create a keyframe. Go a few frames forward again and make an exporting keyframe. Now go 16 keyframes forward and set this point right here. Okay, after this go 16 frames forward. Select all these keyframes and drag them right here. Now distance between these keyframes is 16 keyframes and the distance between each keyframe of the CC page turn is 12 keyframes. Go 10 frames forward again, adjust it right here. Now drag this burn composition right here. And select all these keyframes and drag them backward. And adjust the second keyframe of the CC page turn with the last keyframe of position and rotation. Select these keyframes, press F9, go to graph editor and make this kind of graph. Okay, now here is the main part. Hold Alt and click on the stopwatch icon of the CC page turn and type this expression wiggle parenthesis 6, 50 and close the expression. As you can see that this expression will add the wiggle in the movement. Now do the same process with the position. Hold Alt key and click on the stopwatch icon of the position and type this expression wiggle parenthesis 6, 10. There you go. Now close this burn composition properties and select the burn composition and apply linear wipe transition. On its now increase the value of transition completion and adjust its wipe angle and increase the feather. Now make a keyframe on the transition completion, press U to visible the keyframes, go a few frames forward and drag this keyframe right here. Now at this point add another keyframe and set its value to 0. Now go at the second keyframe and increase its value until it's vanish. Like this. Now select these keyframes and drag them a bit forward. There you go. Now close everything. Now select this burn composition and put it below the hand. Select this hand composition, press P and make a keyframe on position and drag these keyframes forward and drag this position right here. There you go. Select them and press F9, go to graph editor and make this kind of graph. Now one last thing, select the background, select the gradient ramp and add a keyframe on end ramp. Go a few frames backward and adjust this point right here. Select the keyframes and put them right here. With the lighter spark. Set the distance between keyframe to is 12. Select the keyframes, press F9, go to graph editor and make this kind of graph. Now hold Alt key and click on the stopwatch icon and type this expression wiggle parentheses 6 comma 15 and close the expression, and this is how it will look like. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Hope you guys like this, and if you are following along this video, make sure to tag me on Instagram, and I would love to check out your version. See you guys in the next video.